Have you considered how so much of our trouble in understanding others and understanding anything at all is really just a framing problem, where the thing in itself is typically not super complicated, but it becomes so very complicated when you're trying to look at it from all sorts of weird angles. You set your expectations, you boot up your prejudice, you prime all your fears and hopes, and this becomes the looking glass through which you interpret all things. Like, dude, I don't get it. But what exactly are you trying to get from it? Why don't you just look at what is and take it from there, see where it takes you? In a wonderful case in point, a friend of mine who's been digging into all this wonderful essence of life for the better part of 2 years. All these talks, so very complicated, so very confusing. High cognitive loads, trying to extract some sort of existential essence, divine resolutions for a particular context. But I never asked you to overthink any of this. I simply was hoping that you would look through the windows that I open. Reflect on what is, whatever that it is. Ask the questions in your heart and your mind. What is this? Why is this? How is this? Where am I in all of it? Simply tuning in to whatever it is that is, on its own terms. Because if you set all sorts of terms to what you're looking for, what you're expecting, and what you're hoping to get out of it, you become blind and deaf to what actually is. Then, friends, if you're hoping for something simple and clear, simply let go of these funny frames of interpretation. Sure, friends, there are things that are complex in life, but none of it so very complex that you should be roasting your brains over it. It does all become an order of magnitude more complex though when you have to route it all through your 7 spheres of special consideration in self-reference. When you keep stacking up these frames upon frames upon frames upon frames upon frames upon frames upon frames into your looking glass, then even the 7th son of the 7th son will not have the faintest idea of what you're on about. When you reduce your own inner complexity and conditioning, when you let go of the bias of this must be and this should not be, life will be so much more simple, happy, peaceful, even blissful. When you are free from the drive to craft yourself into something, to craft whatever that you face into something, it will be so much more clear. You can take the simplest and clearest, most common sense things in life, show them to someone who looks at it through their distortion matrix, and it will be very confusing and complicated. Because whatever signal that is in the what is has been lost, 1% remaining in this mesh of your inner complexity. Does it make sense then? Well, no, it doesn't. Do you make sense unto yourself? Chances are you don't. Life is simple. True and real, clear and bright, as it is. But here we are, swooshing in our warp bubbles through reality tunnels, projections online, defenses active. We turn the simplicity of life into an unbearable grind. If you're enjoying that morbid crunch, the collisions and friction from your convoluted frames, knock yourself out, to each their own. All I'm saying, it doesn't have to be like that. You can let go of that inner matrix of baggage. Take a breath under clear blue skies. Life as it is. Releasing all of that polarized heat, the magnetic field born from your conditions. Whatever that you are, whatever that all of this is. Let it be as it is. And that's all. That's all, and that's that. That's that, and thou art that. And I am that I am, like whatever.